new here with Ben and Sarah from Pat Lunch and Travel. We are starting a podcast. We've been travelling for about 5 months full time, and we thought, well, we're learning the truth of travel. We're learning more and more. We just thought we'd share and discuss what we're learning along the way, and perhaps you can pitch in if you're watching this and you've got other ideas about what you think travel is or what the subject we talk about is.
Yeah, we've travelled for a few years now, but just recently full time, like you say, and we've always booked our own self-catering accommodations along the way, mainly because making our own food is always so important to us and having our own space. So it's always been through companies like Airbnb and Booking, and we've come to the conclusion pretty much that we think it's gone a bit crazy out there. It feels a bit like the Wild West, and so that is the subject of this podcast. There are so many nightmare horror stories out there about Airbnbs, but if you've got some corkers, some good ones, perhaps pitch in with them.
And this isn't just nightmares, this is just practical daily living about booking Airbnbs or self-accommodation, but all the things you need to think about. There's so many that we have on the list. It's probably a bit much, to be fair.
Yeah.
I swear when we first started it was about 4 or 5, like, as it got parking or something.
That's right.
And now we're up to about 20 things on the list. I don't mean as it's gone on.
That's right. And in fact, we were thinking about going into the detail of how we book our accommodation now, and the list that we have generated over the years of stuff that we now try and check off as we're searching for our accommodation. But there was so much of it, we might actually put that in a different podcast, so that might be the follow-up to this.
So if you're self-catering, what are your options? Number 1, probably Airbnb. It's probably the largest platform that you can go on and book a self-catering place. Booking.com has tons and tons of options too. They're probably the main 2, aren't they?
Yeah.
We've heard of Verbo, but we've never been on it. They're also completely fraudulent in my opinion, on their advertising, but perhaps we shouldn't get into that right this second.
No, and I did look them up for the purposes of research and found that they were pretty similar wording to Booking, which we'll go into a bit more as well. The fine print looked very similar.
Their advertising campaign is a clear lie.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
There probably is other self-catering that we haven't mentioned, but we don't know much about them.
No, and also they're going to be fewer and far between, because the type of travel that we like to do, generally we like to do outdoorsy stuff when we're in a place, and so we want to be near a big park or outside of a town or city, and it's quite difficult not to end up on Airbnb every time because they're the options that are in little tiny places. We need
a kitchen, definitely, and hotels aren't going to be producing that in middle nowhere places, are they?
Definitely not. You might be able to get an apart hotel in Miami, sure, but not in Western Scotland. That's just the nature of things.
And the prices go up quite a bit. Apart hotels.
Definitely.
Well, is it apart hotel? What?
Yeah. We've looked at them.
Like Dubai. Like, what's that? A hotel chain. You can get hotel chains.
You can find them
but
around
they're like
the world.
Dubai.
Yeah.
$5,000 a month.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll focus on the main 2 that we've used.
And that's our main experience as well. So we've got plenty of examples of them, and that's what we're basing our opinions on. So why is it the Wild West? Well, Airbnb and Booking.com and Verbo are just a platform for hosting individuals who are renting out a portion of their house or something else that they own. And they are nothing more than that. They will advertise that they offer support and many benefits of booking through them, but we've tried their 24-hour support quite a lot, and it's average at best. The last time we used it, do you remember? We were on the phone to Airbnb.
That's right. Bradford Gate.
We had a really bad experience, and we'd been on the phone to them quite a lot, to be fair, but we were on the phone to them. You were asking the guy questions.
That's right. Because we were, long story short, the guy completely lied about a review about us, and we were trying to get it taken down. We could prove that he was lying for his teeth. And like you say, the support was literally, you could hear him scrolling down the page looking for the answer.
Actually hear him scrolling on his mouse.
Yeah.
And then he would read the section of script to answer your question. And it really was just a script, because when you asked it in a different way, he'd repeat the same bit of script.
Yeah. And so you basically get absolutely nowhere with the whole thing, weren't it?
I mean, an AI bot probably would have done a better job.
Yeah.
So that's their level of service. So they make it sound good on the website, like they're giving a good service, but in reality it is poor. I'd say.
If you need Airbnb support, you're in trouble, basically.
We've been there.
And like you say, they're all individuals. So you've got small businesses with people owning multiple properties, to just one person renting out their
Loft
or something.
Yeah. And each of these individuals has their own rules. They have their own contracts that they might want you to sign. They have their own rules about your responsibilities as a renter. They may be able to set their own pricing structure, deposits, extras. You are effectively entering a contract with a completely different person every time you scroll up and down the list of accommodations that you find. You are not entering a contract with Airbnb. And that is why we think it's so out there. Because the level of difference that you can find between two different accommodations is bonkers. I mean, we've noticed now on Airbnb that they can even add on an additional cost right at the end, which we hadn't seen until quite recently.
That's right.
So you can go through the whole booking and get your breakdown of cost come up at the end, and then all of a sudden there's 150 quid added on.
Taxes, is it? Extra taxes?
And we've seen deposits come up as well.
And they only come up when you click it to confirm the dates.
That's right.
So even if it said £500, you have to click proceed, and then it will add on the deposit.
Yeah. And this is a massive thing for us. Most of the accommodations now are self-check-in. We love a self-check-in. We don't particularly like meeting people, random people, to pick up keys. So we like a self-check-in. And if you're paying a deposit ahead of time to be paid back on the completion of you leaving and leaving it in a good state, you have no idea, neither does the person, of how the state was when you paid the deposit. Have I explained that right?
Yeah. There's no one there to check what the condition it was like before you go in.
Exactly. If there was someone there showing you around saying, right, this is how it looks now, we're all agreed, everything's fine, tick, I'll take your 100 quid deposit, that would be okay, because then you're entering into that agreement knowing how everybody feels about it. But that isn't the case.
I bet you in another world, another time, 90s, 20 years ago. Obviously I don't know what the 90s was like.
Obviously.
But
me neither.
You probably book your holiday for a package, meet someone at the place in Benidorm, they'll show you around, give them 100 quid.
Yes.
They'll check it before you leave, they'll give you 100 quid back.
That's right.
Job done.
That would have happened back in the day.
Yeah.
Now it's all online. Now, why is it still happening?
They are still trying to do almost the same thing, but without doing it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we had a recent experience of this using booking.com for a rental that we found which we liked the look of, and there was a upfront deposit payable. And we actually asked the person, how do we know that you know the state of the place when we pay the deposit? And one, this made her very annoyed because it sounded like we were questioning her whole business, which, yes, we are, because it's a genuine question.
Well, everyone does it differently.
This is the problem.
One was on a credit card,
Yeah.
but they don't take any money off.
Where they hold an
Yeah.
amount on the credit card.
Others
which
want the actual...
I'm more comfortable with that.
But
to
you
be
can also...
fair.
This woman wanted the 300 quid, actually in her bank account.
That's right. This was why we were so questioning of her, wasn't it? Because, one, we didn't know the state of the place, and we didn't know that she did, and she wanted us to pay it directly into her bank account, away from the site, not through booking.com, directly to her.
And how do we know she ain't going to say, oh, you did this, you broke this
the
after?
cooker or something, yeah.
We don't know, do you?
No, you don't.
And going by previous experience, I don't think booking customer service is going to go and chase us 300 quid for us, do you?
No. And so we'd kind of got into an argument with this woman before we'd even got there. And I don't know whether she made this up on the hoof to try and get rid of us or not, but she then said that she always took a recording through her cleaning staff, which then got recorded at the time that the cleaning was finished to show the condition of the place, and that she would forward this to us. Did it arrive? No.
She made it up, clearly. Because, again, why isn't that on bookings.com site if that's what she does every time?
Exactly.
That should be on the terms and conditions before you've even paid her a penny.
Yes.
But you try looking for anything, they make it up after you pay as well. It is not stated on booking.com or Airbnb normally.
No, it's not. And in fact, the wording on booking.com for that company was that the deposit would be taken in cash on site.
Yeah. Which is clearly never going to happen.
No.
Who's getting through? You can't get 300 quid out of a stuffing machine.
I don't think you can. So we ended up making our own video of the state of the accommodation, didn't we? Which is just a sad reality, quite frankly.
They've all got their own agendas and opinions.
100%.
None of them are like actual business people. They're individuals, you've got to remember. There's a few business hosts which do treat it like a business.
Yeah.
But most of them are just anyone off the street almost that can do this.
They are, that's right.
So they're going to bring in like their own agendas.
Yeah.
And personalities, and they won't be like to talk to in a certain way. That and the other.
I know. They might be mad. You don't know, do you?
They might think, well, I've had enough of these people, I'm going to take 300 quid.
Yeah.
How are they going to get it back? Yeah. Like, how would we have got that back?
We would not have had any rights to get that back. And I'm going to quote something from booking.com because I think this is really significant. This is not written on Airbnb, by the way. This is only on booking.com. In the very small print right at the bottom of the page, if what you're looking at is hosted by an individual, it says, this property is managed by a private host. EU consumer law relating to professional hosts might not apply. And when they say might not, they mean it definitely won't, people. There is no law for these individuals to rent out their accommodation. You're not going through booking.com. They have nothing to do with this. They're wiping their hands clean as soon as you have clicked yes on that accommodation. So it really is outlaw territory.
All the deposits, which everyone we've been on so far on Booking have wanted a deposit, is a separate from Booking.
That's right.
So you are dealing with that person individually about the deposit.
So good luck, basically, isn't it? You just hope that nothing goes wrong. And that's a very flimsy thing to go on.
How can that be a legitimate business?
Yeah.
How can Booking be allowed to just almost say, well, it's down to you?
I know.
I don't know where your rights are at all.
Where are your rights? Another good example of this, also on Booking in fact, was we were trying to book an accommodation in a country we'd never been to before, Bosnia. And I specifically clicked on an accommodation that said you'll be charged up front on card. So that was going to take all of the money out through Booking.com's website on our credit card before we got there. And I chose that specifically to avoid the situation where we might have to deal with a person with cash. When I went to book it, it didn't take the money. The host messaged us and said that he wanted the payment for the deposit in cash in the local currency when we turned up, before he'd give us the keys. I messaged back and said, I booked this because it said that you would take it online, and he said, oh, well, perhaps I could. Shall we arrange it some other way? By then, I'd lost faith. I'd cancelled it. There's no way you can trust someone that writes one thing on a website, does something completely different, then might change their mind if they, like the look of you? I mean, how can you go by anything?
You can't, can you?
You can't.
I think they wanted PayPal, didn't they?
They wanted
Just
PayPal
to try and
in
get
the
a
end.
booking back.
Yeah. By which time we'd cancelled it and moved on. We didn't even know what the currency was.
On Booking, it always gives you a list, doesn't it? Long list of what they expect, what's going to happen, like we said. And it's always wrong.
Yeah, I
Every
feel
time.
like it is very wrong.
Because like you say,
wrong.
once you've booked it, you're then down to the other person, what they want.
Yeah. And it seems fine if you were, say, booking a hotel where you turn up, there's a front desk and, okay, they're going to take your credit card and hold a bunch of cash off it. No problem with that. That seems normal. But it doesn't really work for individuals.
No.
So we described it as entering into a different contract with an individual. And sometimes you do actually have to sign a contract as well. We had to for this place that we're staying in right now, which was through a company, and that was a virtual contract which we virtually signed, which was not anything to do with Booking.com, which was the platform that we booked it through. We've had that before on Airbnb as well. And we even had the paper contract in France, do you remember?
Yeah, that's why they just wanted to sign a contract. And do we even read it or know what it said or what it was about?
I'm not sure that we really understood it, even if we did read it
But
fully.
you haven't really got much choice. I mean, you're in France, you've booked a week's accommodation. You're not going to say, no, I don't fancy this. Are you, really?
No. It was in somebody's house, and they obviously owned the house and had some private goods in there as well. Their furniture and everything was in there. But they'd let someone else rent it out for them or do the work for renting it out for them, and they actually had a paper contract for us to sign to say that we wouldn't break anything, presumably. I don't even know.
I can't. Was it all in French? I can't actually remember if it was in French or not.
So like you say, what do? You're standing in the place with two people that you don't know.
It's awkward enough as it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Again, just because everyone is an individual, they're all doing it their own way. Individuals can take things personally as well, and we have had a ton of experiences of that. Any issue to do with the place can be taken completely wildly out of context. If you complain about something practical, they can see it as a personal insult. I mean, we've had this
I think we've had it all
a lot, haven't we?
Yeah. It's because, like you say, you're dealing with the individual. They're not business people as such.
No.
They just think their place is the best place ever. They want you to give them 5 stars, even if it's not.
Yeah.
And if you say anything practical or genuine, they take it personally, don't they?
Yeah.
And if you do that, then they can start going into, you can only go down a realm of they're going to make some shit up to try and get more money out of you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you've suddenly broken a cup or something.
I mean, we've heard some horror stories about people being charged after they've left Airbnbs for things that they definitely did not do. That is a very real possibility now. And like we had the example of somebody leaving us an obnoxious review that was blatant lies and said that we were untrustworthy as guests, which then impacts your next few trips that you want to book, because if anyone reads that, They're thinking, oh, well, these people aren't trustworthy. I was just going to mention the Girona example because it is so funny. We booked the flat in Girona. It was only a one-nighter because we were flying back the next day from the airport, and so what we really needed was parking on site right outside the door, because we just wanted to get in the car at like 6 in the morning the next morning and zoom off to the airport. And the place had been advertised with on-site parking, and it was on a road that you couldn't even drive on, let alone park on. So the parking was in a village square, like half a mile down the road.
It's like a maze anyway, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Trying to figure out the road system.
Yeah. So when I wrote that in the description that we left after and said that there wasn't actually any on-site parking and that you did have to park way down the road, the owner sent a horrible message back to us, didn't she? And said that we had personally insulted her family by leaving such a terrible review. And I just said, sorry, but it was fact.
They just can't handle it, can they?
No, they can't.
And they shouldn't even be on Airbnb, half these people.
No, I don't think so. And she definitely shouldn't, because she had a 80-year-old mother running around trying to take out
absolute
keys
farce.
and stuff like that. That's ridiculous.
What was she looking for? A toast or a kettle?
Yeah.
And she got some little ladders out.
We asked her where the toaster
It's
was.
like a comedy, wasn't it? She got this little set of ladders out and got on the top shelf that she couldn't reach. 80-year-old grandmother or so.
And then tried to explain how this toaster worked, which looked like some kind of like bread torturing device. It did not look safe in any way.
When she went, toaster. I thought, oh, okay.
Electrocution, more like.
The owner of the Airbnb couldn't even be asked.
We
to
didn't
sort it
even
out
meet her, did we?
for herself.
No. We could go into a whole... I mean, that's a whole other
Yeah,
podcast.
I don't know if that's
Reviews.
just a overview of the review system is basically fraudulent.
Yeah. Because, like we've said now, we've had so many examples of things going wrong. It makes us as guests extremely reluctant to leave anything in the review that is negative. But then that doesn't help people like us trying to find the next accommodation. So obviously that's wrong. We know that we should address issues when we're there, but you're totally put off doing it, aren't you?
Well, yeah, like I say, it can make stuff up after or
Yeah.
try and send you an abusive message or... I mean, we've probably had it all, haven't we? I think the only real conclusion is that you either leave a fair review every time and just ignore the hate, or you never review anything.
Yeah.
And you just book it.
And if things break when you're there, you don't tell them about it and you just leave.
Yeah, otherwise who knows what they'll say.
Yeah. We've been...
The more you say, the more trouble, almost.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just trying to help the person, say, look, you need to fix this thing, but then it turns into something else suddenly.
Exactly.
Suddenly we're the bad people.
Exactly. Which again makes it sound like we're dealing with a bunch of cowboys here, aren't we? Effectively.
We really are. I mean...
We've been asked to leave 5-star reviews as well. Hint, hint. Like, you are going to leave a 5-star review, aren't you? That's happened quite a lot.
We've had review systems being branched at us somehow, and they've said basically anything under 5 stars they can get taken off the site. That's what they claim.
Which is an utter lie, because we've seen plenty at 3.
And they gave like 1 star, you had to leave the property or something.
Yeah.
But they even gave 4 star, you didn't have a good experience. Even 4 stars
That's right.
is no good for them.
To try and suggest that it's 5 stars.
Or nothing.
We just don't leave reviews if they do that, do we?
We definitely wouldn't leave them a 5 star, would we?
No.
If they're begging for it before we've even left.
In fact, I think the last time we had someone hint to leave a 5 star, we actually left a 4 star just because. And we had a really good time there as well.
I don't think they said anything actually, but...
what to do going forward. It's a tricky one. Obviously, we don't want to change the type of accommodation that we love to stay in, and finding other self-catering accommodations is not easy. We've had the suggestion of looking them up on Airbnb, and then if they are a business, going to the business website. And I have found a couple of those, but very few and far between, and that doesn't necessarily rule them out as being a bad person or a bad business.
No, definitely not.
So we have tried to find business hosts on Airbnb because we have had good experiences with them.
Yeah.
Well, I can think of one.
We have. I mean, you sort of just keep ticking them off, don't you?
Yeah.
We'll only look for 5-star. We'll only look for business hosts. I mean, where do you end up at the end of it?
Yeah.
Because eventually someone's going to say something.
True. Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is.
No.
The only thing like we thought of a business host is they are treating like a business. If they have multiple properties, they have probably set up a self-check-in service. They've probably got regular cleaners on the go. They're at least running it like a business.
Yeah.
Doesn't make them good, but it makes them, they might not take it as personally if you leave them a 1-star review.
They would probably attempt to help you more if something went wrong, and like you say, they're not going to take it as personally, so you're not going to get the Spanish scenario with them, I don't think.
No. I mean, there are several podcasts which we will follow up, niching down on self-catering, because we could go into what we look for. We could talk about the review system on its own. I'm sure there's numerous things we could go into more detail with.
Yeah, and let us know if you have any thoughts on this. Do you like the podcast style of video? If you do, please give it a thumbs up, and perhaps suggest other topics for us to talk about on this and branching out from it.
Yeah, I don't know how to summarise this first podcast apart from read as much as you can on the page. Reviews. Have they got multiple properties? Perhaps scan through if they've left any more reviews, positive or negative.
Yeah.
How long? I know. I mean, it's a minefield, really.
It is a minefield. We haven't found the best solution yet.
We don't
I
know
don't
the
think.
answer, no.
And we've booked a lot of Airbnb and Booking.com, so yeah, I don't know if there is a solution, but let us know if you've had a good experience perhaps on Airbnb, or a shocker or something funny that's happened. And like you say, we will follow up with, I think the next podcast is probably going to be how we actually book our Airbnbs.
Yeah.
And we will go through the very long list of requirements that we now look for. Is it even possible? How do we keep travelling like this if we can't even find anywhere to stay?
And how many of the boxes need to be ticked before we book it is the question.
Yeah, and do we ever feel comfortable going into it? Even if we do all of that research, there's always a doubt in your mind now, I think.
Definitely. I think we've had too many, we've been burned a few times now, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
So no, I don't think I feel fully confident.
And yet here we are, still doing.
This is why we're gonna share our knowledge of what we've been, what happens on this podcast, and just say how it is really. I mean, we're not here to sugarcoat it or, say everything's all wonderful and like quite a few others I've watched.
No, definitely not. And on the flip side, it's not all doom and gloom either. We love travelling, we love staying in remote places, and we have had some brilliant stays. So we will talk about them as well. Should we end on a positive and say what our best Airbnb stay was? So our best Airbnb stay so far, this is quite a long time ago as well now.
few years ago, yeah.
Was a small bungalow cabin built obviously on the land of the person that owned the house, separated from the main house by a fence. There was self-check-in, pick up the key in a lockbox, very easy, park right outside your door. Lovely little unit accommodation, bedroom, kitchen, open plan, and a bathroom, and that was it. And it was perfect for us.
Yeah.
But the best bit was they had red squirrels in the garden right outside the window, and the owner had come up with the brilliant idea of giving you some hazelnuts to put down for the red squirrels so that you could sit and watch them. That was it. And it was brilliant.
It was really good. Yeah.
We never met the person.
Right.
We never had any issues there. They'd set it up perfectly and then just left it and let you get on with it, and it was fine.
That was a good one.
It was a good one.
There are good accommodations out there, but they are hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah. Subscribe to this podcast. The truth about full-time travel. That's what it's about.
Yeah, that's what it's about. And if you're interested in our YouTube channel, head on over there and check out our videos on our full-time travel, places that we've been, recommendations of places, perhaps inspiration for your own travels, and all of our costs as well. We've been doing videos on those recently. That's it.
Okay. End of episode 1.